Hey there, friends. Welcome to another serving of the Binge. I'm your host, and I'll be your guide as we indulge our curiosities and explore the delightfully random world around us. You know, in this crazy, fast-paced world we live in, it's all too easy to get swept up in the stresses and distractions of daily life without stopping to appreciate the simple things. The ordinary moments and mundane musings that are so often overlooked. Well, not on this podcast. Here on The Binge, we're going to savor those everyday experiences and observations that most people don't have time to truly appreciate. We'll chew on the questions that lurk in the back of your mind, but you never find the chance to fully explore. One week, we might find ourselves pondering the existential implications of the snooze button. The next, we'll take a deep dive into proper grocery store etiquette and the societal tensions of the produce aisle. No topic is too small or insignificant for us to unpack and examine from every delightfully weird angle. So get comfortable, grab a snack if you'd like, and prepare to indulge that inquisitive side of your brain. This is a judgment-free zone to muse, ponder, and revel in the simple joys of shooting the breeze about the little things that make up our big, crazy world. Whether it's pondering life's deep mysteries or laughing about the absurdities of modern life, The Binge has you covered. All that's required is an open mind, a healthy sense of humor, and an appreciation for finding magic and meaning in the most ordinary of places. So let's dig in, shall we? This episode's sponsored by Sugarfish.
It's the Binge Podcast where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast. Come join us fast.
The Fresh Prince of Perpetual Relevance, an ode to Will Smith. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground is where he spent most of his days, chillin' out, maxin', relaxin' all cool, and sowing the seeds for one of the most impressively durable careers in show business history. From his humble beginnings as a rapper with a quintessentially 90s look, remember those absolutely egregious t-shirt and tie combos? Will Smith has defied the odds to remain a bankable movie star and pop culture icon over 3 decades later. It's a run of longevity that makes Cher's career look like a brief cameo. Just think about it. The man has seamlessly transitioned from Grammy-winning hip-hop artist to beloved sitcom star to blockbuster movie lead to internet meme and YouTube prank video sensation. He's as versatile and resilient as a Twinkie. Part of Smith's secret sauce is undoubtedly his affable, squeaky clean image and impervious positivity. While other stars were having public meltdowns or checking into rehab, Will was all about spreading good vibes and uplifting catchphrases like mind over matter and don't push me 'cause I'm close to the edge. He's like a real-life version of Ted Lasso, but with more alien punching and less panic attacks. No scandal could stick to this man. Not even that time he recorded himself gleefully admitting to getting mind-bogglingly high in a trailer on a movie set. Not even the slap that he gave to Chris Rock at the Oscars. Speaking of movie Oscars, Smith's filmography is a wild grab bag of contrasts. From the goofy charm of Men in Black and Bad Boys to the dramatic heft of Ali and the Pursuit of Happiness. He's played everything from a fearless cop to a heartbroken single dad to a post-apocalyptic zombie hunter, yet somehow he always manages to be, well, Will Smith. That signature charisma and cheeky persona shines through every role, like a movie star dipped in a vat of pure liquid confidence. It's what allows him to pull off even the most ludicrous of premises, like having to literally slap the abstract concept of fear across the face in After Earth. No pun intended, Chris Rock. And let's not forget his music career, which has gifted the world with such iconic, undeniable bops as Summertime, Miami, and, okay, pretty much just those songs on a loop. But what absolute bangers they are. At the end of the day, Will Smith's true superpower is being utterly, almost supernaturally likable. He's the human embodiment of a big, bright, $1,000,000 smile, a fresh prince who never seems to age or lose his cool. Long may he reign as Hollywood's most relentlessly charismatic weirdo. Road rage. A fucking idiot's guide to driving like an asshole. Buckle the fuck up, because we're going for a ride into the deepest, most rage-filled circles of driving hell. I'm talking full-blown, veins bulging, spittle-flying road rage, the state of mind where any minor traffic inconvenience transforms you into a belligerent, obscenity-hurling lunatic behind the wheel. Maybe some dickhead had the audacity to actually use their turn signal before merging in front of you, or some grandma going 0.2 miles under the speed limit made you miss the green light. Whatever the catalyst, you're now seeing raging, psychotic shades of red, ready to unleash the full fury of your vehicular wrath. The first step is to lay on that horn like a goddamn percussionist in a heavy metal band. Don't just give it a quick tap. We're talking a full, unrelenting barrage of ear-shattering honks to make it abundantly clear that you are not fucking around. Flip them off too, putting as much middle finger muscle into it as possible. Really sell that fuck you energy. Now it's time to ride their ass like a drunk prom date. Get up so close that you could read the expiration date on their registration sticker. Tailgate the living shit out of them until they finally move, or you end up plowing into the back of their Honda Civic at 75 miles per hour. No half measures here. If they still refuse to yield to your alpha male/female dominance on the road, it's time to whip out your cell phone and start recording. Make sure to narrate the whole thing in the most obnoxious, aggressive tone possible. This dumb motherfucker won't get out of the left lane. I'll show his dumb ass who owns these streets. Once you finally get a chance to pass their slow, oblivious ass, take the opportunity to swerve violently in front of them while braking hard. Maybe toss a drink or food item out the window to really drive home what a reckless, untamed road beast you are. They'll think twice about disrespecting you again. If the other driver also happens to be an unhinged psychopath, you may find yourself in the midst of a roving demolition derby of pure, unadulterated road rage. Now it's time to go full fucking scorched earth. Swerve into their lane, throw shit at their windshield, pull up alongside and scream unintelligible profanities until you've achieved mutual understanding. At the end of the day, road rage is a celebration of our most primal, uncivilized driving impulses. It's you against the world, fueled by a lethal combination of unchecked aggression and entitlement. So next time some asshat cuts you off or drives like a goddamn clueless moron, don't just get mad. Rage like a fucking maniac behind the wheel. Your pride and masculine/feminine energy depends on it. A rather peculiar brew. Musings on Ayahuasca. Let me begin by saying that Ayahuasca is quite possibly the most ludicrously named substance on the planet. It sounds like the punchline to a joke about a sneeze in a Mexican restaurant. Ayahuasca! One can hardly say it without involuntarily spraying a mist of saliva droplets. But I digress. Ayahuasca, for those of you blissfully unaware, is a powerfully hallucinogenic tea concoction that has been brewed and consumed by indigenous Amazonian tribes for centuries, possibly millennia. It's made by boiling together a couple of very specific plants, the ayahuasca vine and chacruna leaves, which, through some biochemical wizardry, create a psychoactive beverage with enough potency to completely reorder your brain chemistry. Now I know what you're thinking. Bill, old chum, ingesting a mysterious psychotropic potion cooked up by inscrutable jungle shamans sounds like a perfectly delightful idea. When can I sign up? Well, hold your horses there, my friend. Drinking ayahuasca is, by most accounts, a thoroughly unpleasant experience from start to finish. First, the tea itself is said to taste like a moldy sock that's been soaked in rusty drain water. Then, once you've got that foul sludge sloshing about in your stomach, the purging begins. An evening of protracted bouts of extremely vigorous vomiting and diarrhea. As one ayahuasca researcher delicately phrased it, you will experience a prolonged period of gastrointestinal Armageddon that will make you wish you had never been born. Jolly good. But if you can survive that harrowing physical ordeal, that's when the real fun starts. Because that's when the hallucinations kick in with full force. We're not talking about a few mild visual distortions here. Ayahuasca is like strapping yourself to the front of a car of a psychedelic freight train bound for parts unknown. Accounts of ayahuasca trips are all over the map, ranging from profoundly spiritual, life-altering revelations to utterly terrifying descents into hellish, nightmarish realms of existence. Some have reported encounters with insectoid aliens, conversations with long-dead ancestors, visions of past lives, and so on. Others have experienced their own births, deaths, and literal rebirths as interdimensional beings. One researcher, after partaking, claimed to have spent the entire night as a sentient ball of energy, traveling through wormholes to other galaxies. Another said he momentarily merged his consciousness with that of a hummingbird outside the ceremony hut. I don't know about you, but that sounds utterly dreadful to me. I can barely handle being a human most days. At the end of the day, ayahuasca seems to be one of those you had to be there sorts of experiences. Either it alters your consciousness in profound, indescribable ways, or it just makes you vilely ill for a few hours. There's really no middle ground. Is it a doorway to a higher spiritual plane and a deeper understanding of our universe, or just a highly unpleasant purgative with some very bizarre side effects? I haven't the foggiest idea, but I do know one thing. You'd have to pay me a considerable sum to even consider drinking that vile, vomit-inducing, psyche-shattering jungle brew. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go have a nice, safe, ordinary cup of English breakfast tea. Please consider subscribing.
Tune in right now. Got stories to tell, from the small to the grand, all under one spell. We talk about this, we laugh about that, from the strange to the bliss. Get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. From the small to the grand, all under one spell. We talk about this, we laugh about that, from the strange to the bliss. Get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. Tune in right now. Got stories to tell, from the small to the grand, all under one spell. We talk about this, we laugh about that, from the strange to the bliss. Get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast.